Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and we have another new breakdown for you today. It's going to be really a comparison video of Patrick Mahomes and his long ball mechanics, or his deep ball mechanics, in comparison to me and my deep ball mechanics. Obviously, I'm not able to throw the ball as far as Patrick Mahomes. He's able to throw the ball about 75 yards, but that's the point, is to be able to show you where he's really good with his deep ball mechanics, where I can get some significant improvement and, make it so you guys could actually see that benefit. As always, if you like the information, go ahead and like the video down below. That really helps us out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you have any recommendations or comments, go ahead and leave those down below. Questions as well, we'll be happy to get to those, and we'll go ahead and hop in the video right now. All right, so we got obviously Patrick Mahomes here on the right, and then me on the left. This was from about a month ago, and so I've tried to make some changes, some adjustments to my throwing mechanics based off of this, but I just don't have any recent updated footage of it. And then Patrick Mahomes, obviously he's been in the NFL for a few years now, so this is a few years back when he was an actual pro day, but it's some good footage of him being able to throw the ball. Again, I mean, his back foot's at about 75 yards, so he's still throwing the ball over 70 yards here. And what really stands out is if we look at the point where he's like at max extension of that back leg, and kind of noticing where his body's at that max extension, where even if you look at me, I really never get to max extension in my back leg. This would probably be the best position that I got to within my back leg, and you can see where the ball is. We actually have the nose of the football facing in a fairly similar position. He looks like his front shoulder is a little bit more closed, and he also looks like he's in a lot more external rotation within the shoulder. And then obviously, like I said, he has a lot better overall hip extension at this point as well. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I see in terms of the top quarterbacks and what they're able to do, is they're just able to get a lot more hip extension. And the thing about developing from a standpoint of improving your distance of your long ball, it comes into your ability to actually get the mechanics down. So being able to push off the back leg and getting the right amount of hip extension and getting the right external rotation in the shoulder and driving that front elbow and doing all the things correct, and then working and consistently developing that. So once you get the mechanics right, you probably have another at least 5 to 7 yards of distance that you can improve on just by consistently doing the deep ball and being able to build off of where you're at within your furthest throw. And then once you add in a little bit more strength and a little bit more range of motion, more core strength, things like that, you'll continue to get more and more improvement. But first, I'd say you really want to make sure that you get your mechanics locked in, because then you could just start building off of that, where we obviously see a lot of guys that just don't have very good deep ball mechanics, and that's really a big reason why they're suffering in their overall performance. So once he's in this position of kind of getting that max hip extension, I think it's important to see what happens next. And so you can see he really does a great job of driving through with that elbow from this position. He also is really pulling down with that front arm. He creates even more external rotation in that back shoulder, so he almost lets that ball sink down even further, where you can see me, I'm starting to bring the ball all the way up by now, so you can see how low the ball is in his hand in comparison to where it is in my hand and my shoulder. And then next frame, boom. Next frame, boom. And see, he still has all that bend in the arm. So, one of the things that's very unique about Patrick Mahomes, he has a baseball background. So he has I don't know if it's something that developed or something that happens when you're playing baseball, but he just creates a lot of external rotation within the shoulder, which is something that as a pitcher, when it comes to guys that are throwing it over 100 miles an hour, even in the hundreds, high 95s, they're able to create a just amazing amount of external rotation in the shoulder. And he's somebody that also has that ability to just naturally create a lot more external rotation, I think, is within the normal shoulder. And so, because of that, I think he gets away with a little bit more of just natural arm strength because of the ability to create more range of motion within his arm. When he comes all the way up, you can see, one of the things I feel like he could work on is he loses the head position here, right? So as he's coming through, he kind of brings his head off to the side a little bit, and I think that would be something that he would even say he'd want to be able to work on. But then he releases the ball really high there, right? So, you can even see me where I'm releasing the ball, where I'm coming a little bit more upwards as I'm releasing the ball, where he's in that position, he's still holding on to it, and now he releases the ball from right there, which really helps him in being able to generate a lot more force on the throw in comparison to me, where if I'm releasing the ball as I'm going up, I'm not going to be able to generate as much overall force on the throw. And also you could just tell by how my body's coming through, I'm just not generating near as much torque, near as much force. You can see how he is, where he's pushing out that back leg. He's just going to naturally create a lot more force out of his body by moving like that and being able to throw like that. And that is really one of the, again, big beneficiaries of being able to understand how to generate more force in your actual mechanics, because now you could just consistently add on to your baseline by just being able to get that right hip extension, by being able to again, drive that front elbow, make sure that you're using your front elbow. That's very, very important. Create that external rotation in the arm, and then also release the ball at the right point. I would say those 4 main points are the most important things that you want to do. I'll go ahead and go over them again. You want to get full hip extension out of that back leg. You want to create a large amount of external rotation within the shoulder. You want to make sure that you're releasing the ball with your hand or wrist and elbow parallel, rather than releasing the ball with your hand and wrist not parallel, right? So I'm releasing the ball right there. And then make sure you're driving that front arm all the way through, that front elbow all the way through as you're finishing the throw, and using that as a way to generate more force. And that's another big part of being able to really maximize your throwing distance and have great deep ball mechanics. All right. As always, guys, thanks for watching these videos. If you have any questions, leave those down below. We have a few different great offers going on within our throw program. We have a 7-day free trial that we've had for a while, but we have a few different things within our breakdown where you get some training sessions within the breakdown.